Alright guys, today I'm going to be reviewing Ravine Flyer 2 at Waldameer. This is a fantastic gravity group wooden coaster, and it's my third favorite wooden coaster overall, so I'll explain why in this review. So to start off, you got the presentation. If you're driving up the hill, it actually looks really cool because you look above your head and you see the two road hills, and yeah, it's amazing looking at the wood on either side of you. It's an amazing terrain coaster just to look at. And then once you actually get up to the queue line, there's absolutely no theming. It's just you walk up and you get on. It's usually no more than a 10-minute wait, even on a weekend. So yeah, I usually don't have to deal with big lines for this thing. I've never waited more than like 15 minutes, even on a really busy weekend. So yeah, that's good. In terms of row preference, I am definitely a back row rider on this. There's not really a bad row. I just think the back row is best because you get that first drop. It's kind of similar to Wildcats Revenge in a way, in that ride doesn't have a bad seat either, but I just go towards the back so I can get the best value out of the first drop. So yeah, go towards there. I would definitely recommend unload side as well, because yeah, there's one turn in particular that's really cool on the unload side. So yeah, back row, unload side. I will mention the wheel seats are pretty rough on this if that hinders the experience for you. For me, that just adds to the experience, having that sense of out of controlness. But yeah, I know for a lot of people that can be an issue, so try to go in row 11 maybe if you have that issue. But yeah, I'll go in row 12. And I mean, I did hit my head really hard. I was scared. I had a concussion the day before because I got hurt at a ninja competition. So yeah, even row 12, that didn't really hurt my head that much. So that was good. So I don't think you'll have to worry about it too much. There are bins or cubbies you could put your stuff to the side of the train, so no lockers, no nothing like that, so that's great. The operations here are also pretty fast if there's not a ton of dumb GP, which there could be. Definitely count on some dumb GP here. There's one GP in particular that, if anything, made the ride experience better, but we're not going to get into that. I'm leaving bias aside for this review. Alright, this is just ride experience. So yeah, the ops also usually don't staple unless you get ratted out by some GP for having 2 inches of room and supposedly flying out, which, yeah, I'm still really salty about that. But yeah, unless something stupid like that happens, you can get some room on this. And yeah, you definitely want some room because it's amazing even if you're stapled, but it's just that much better if you've got a ton of room. So yeah, you pull out of the station and you start up the lift hill, and it's one of the best views on any coaster. I mean, you look off and you see all of Lake Erie, especially if you get a sunset ride like I got to. It's amazing just at sunset, seeing all that water. But after that, you're going to head down the first drop. This is one of the best first drops on any wooden coaster, probably the second best on any Woody, if I'm being honest. It's fantastic, just great ejector in the back row. Nothing really too special after that, but yeah, it's just good ejector. What else can I say? Then you're going to start turning to the right. You're really going to feel the sense of speed here because the drop's a lot bigger than the lift hill, because it is a terrain coaster after all. It's Ravine Flyer 2 for a reason. So yeah, then you're going to head over the road hill. This is the first of them. This one isn't quite as good as the second, but it is still fantastic sustained ejector airtime. This is some of the best sustained airtime you'll find anywhere. I mean, I always say El Toro has the best combination of sustainedness and strength, and this is right up there with some of the best after El Toro for that combination. You're just flying up out of your seat for a good 3 seconds here, and it's extremely strong. So yeah, that's definitely a highlight of the ride. And then you've got this turn to the right and then a snap to the left, which actually gives a really good dose of sharp ejector airtime. It's very brief, but it's a strong pop. I did not expect it. So then you pull up, and you kind of slow down for a bit at the top here, which is all right. Every time we're going through this, it's just a chance to brace yourself for the insanity that's about to happen, because this next sequence on the ride is by far the best, and it is mad. because you drop off this. In the back, you're going to get a good dose of ejector, and then you hit the second road hill. And that first road hill was really good, but this second one is even better. Slightly stronger airtime, a bit more sustained, especially in the back, because the drop off of this hill is actually longer than the ascent into it. So in the back, it just feels like you're flying forever. It's fantastic, especially if you get a ton of room. Just, oh my god, this element is pure bliss. One of my favorite elements, period. So then after that, you're going to head into two really short but really violent ejector pops, and they're in such rapid fire succession. I imagine this is like a bit of a weaker version of what the chili dip into the first one of the quad downs on Air Force One sort of feels like. Obviously not as good, but yeah, I imagine that's sort of the concept here, because, oh my god, these two hills rapid fire, just one after another, they're incredible. And then after that, you're kind of going to pop up, turn to the left, and this is really where a lot of people say this ride dies. And before this past trip, I also agreed. I said, yeah, the first half's great, but this second half is pretty stupid. But I actually found this second half is really good too, because you start off with this big hill. You still get some good flow ejector on this, nothing too crazy, but it's sustained as well for a couple seconds. You start turning to the left, and you still have a good amount of speed going through here. Like, you didn't completely lose it all. You're not going at like 10 miles an hour here. And then after that, you hit a very violent S-hill going to the left, and I think that's a lot better than most people say. That's definitely a good ejector pop there. And then you hit the part of the ride where you definitely want to be on the unload side, which is this sort of 90-degree turn going downhill. It's really cool, just reaching your arms out, just flopping over on here, and then you head back down the ravine, and the sense of speed on here is incredible too, just like the rest of the ride, because you're just flying down this ravine, flying past all the trees. It's an amazing feeling just flying at that rate on a wooden coaster like this. And then you pop up and you turn to the right, get a couple more little floater pops. These aren't anything crazy, but they do deliver airtime, which some people say they don't. And then you just turn to the right into the brakes, and that's your ride on Ravine Flyer 2. Now, I will say these PTC restraints will come down on you if you don't hold them up during the ride, so you definitely want to make sure you do that. In terms of positives, it's not really the greatest thing ever. I never mentioned any moments of positive G's during the ride because there aren't really any. It's all about just that crazy sense of speed, having that wooden coaster rumble throughout all these crazy elements and everything. So yeah, overall, Ravine Flyer 2 is just such a fantastic ride. So for its final score, I'm going to give it a 971 out of 1,000. This is my number 10 coaster overall, number 3 Woody. It's something everyone has to go out to Waldameer to experience, and Gravity Group, we really need some more train-based Woodies like this. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of Ravine Flyer 2 down in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.